It's January, it's the end of January, and so it's time for another edition of LHS 101. Hopefully the winter season is coming to an end, and we appreciate all your support as we work through the difficulties of winter, whether that be snow, travel, sickness, all that kind of stuff. We appreciate working with us and your patience with us as we work through that. Some things that are coming up that we'll talk about today, the pre-enrollment process. It's kind of hard to believe that we're already talking about the next school year, and obviously for seniors this is something that they won't have to do, but our 8th graders and then our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors this year will be looking at the pre-enrollment process. Actually, they're in the thick of the pre-enrollment process. So right now, our core teachers, math, English, social science, and science, are having discussions with the students in their class currently about what they would recommend and what they want them to take next year in that core area. So those conversations are ongoing, and then those core teachers put in those recommendations to our system, our Skyward system, and they're doing that currently, and those are due January 31st, which this is on Friday the 28th that we're taping this, and that 31st will be Monday. So those will be done at that time. We will then look at our elective classes, so our CTE and our elective classes, or choices that students have. And those conversations go on with their CCR teacher, and really many of those CCR teachers have begun those discussions about, hey, what classes have you taken? What is your success in those classes? And then what are your interests going forward? Whether that be VOTEC or high-level science classes, looking for an elective class that I really enjoy and something that will be an interest that I could pursue post-secondary. So all those conversations are starting now, and we will do some things to pique those interests or give students an opportunity to look at those interests before they decide. We have a CTE week planned for just after ParentTeacher Conferences, so mid-February, where they'll have those conversations and opportunities to listen to what goes on in our CTE classes. And then by the end of February, our CCR teachers will be inputting the decisions the students have into our Skyward system so that we can then create a master schedule off of those recommendations or off of those choices that students have made. How do parents come in this? We ask you to have those conversations at home. What are you interested in? Why are you interested in that? And how can we best meet those needs? And I say we, how can we as a school both meet the needs of the student and you as a family? So we encourage you during the month of February to sit down with your student and really dive into what those interests are and what their success and where the difficulties lie in the school system, and try and figure that all out so that we can make you and include you as part of that discussion in those choices. Again, thank you for your willingness to work with us as we continue to prepare your student for whatever happens once they graduate. Thank you. Now that we've talked about pre-enrollment, it's also a good time to talk about a little more in detail about CTE Pathways. If you remember back to the November edition, we had a few of our teachers talk through or discuss some of the things that go on in their pathways, and we want to highlight a few more of those this time. We have a graphic that will show you with all of our pathways listed. A couple of those teachers are discussing in this edition of LHS 101. Mrs. Jones will be talking about one of our business pathways, and Mr. Demetz will be talking about one of our health science pathways.
I teach the health career pathways, and my pathway starts as an introduction with biology, and all students have to have biology, so you're already starting out in the pathway. After that, we go into more specific classes. That intermediate level consists of sports medicine, which today we call Intro to Human Body Systems, but it's still the same content. So that's one where we're looking at individual body parts and we're taping ankles, and that one's the real hands-on class that the students really enjoy. My other class in the pathway would be human anatomy and physiology, and that hasn't changed over the years. It's still this traditional. We do the dissections in human anatomy and physiology. Matter of fact, this week we're going to be doing eyes, but we'll do brains, and then eventually we'll finish up with the fetal pigs is what we do in this class. And then my capstone class is the medical internship, where the students actually get to go out to the hospitals, and we primarily use St. John, but we also send students to CERC Physical Therapy, to a couple dentist office, and wherever we can place students so they can actually see professionals working in the field.
So for my side of the business pathway, it's more of a creative side. We start with business essentials, and we talk about all the basics of business and kind of lay a firm foundation for the pathway. Then some of the classes we offer are entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship, you develop your own business from start to finish, and we look at competitors and the cost of everything and all that would go into being an entrepreneur. Sports and entertainment marketing is really fun. We learn how to market products through sports, and spend a lot of time creating a pro sports team, talking about how athletes and entertainers can support causes and really have a platform. Also in sports and entertainment marketing, we develop a pro sports team for the Kansas City area, and you develop a team from start to finish and research how economically it would impact the community. Another course that we offer in this pathway is marketing, and we do a lot of TikToks, Instagram posts, really marketing our 3 school businesses. We have the Spirit Box, which is a vending machine that the students use throughout the day. We have the Lions Pad, which sells apparel online and in person at pop-up shops. And we also have the Lions Cafe, which we create coffee drinks in the morning, iced coffee, and we sell donuts. So students really in this pathway can learn by doing and by actually running their own businesses.
So as we close this edition of LHS 101, just a reminder that parent-teacher conferences are February 9th and February 10th here at the high school. The February 9th is from 4 to 8 p.m. and it is in person only. So if you think back 2 years ago as to how we did parent-teacher conferences at that point, that's what our Wednesday evening, afternoon/evening will look like, 4 to 8 p.m. The next day, February 10th, is virtual conferences only, so 7 to 3. And teachers will be sending out their sign-up sheets for that. I know many of you appreciated and enjoyed the opportunity for your schedule to do a Zoom conference, so we're going to continue those on Thursday the 10th. Thank you for watching.